What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another news video. Now there's some big news today, so we won't waste any time with an intro. So let's get into the first story. Bye bye Eric Bischoff. In an altogether not surprising move, the WWE has released Eric Bischoff. Recall the former WCW boy genius was hired last summer to help jumpstart SmackDown's creative department, taking the position of executive director for SmackDown. However, unlike his counterpart on Raw, Paul Heyman, Bischoff did not immediately begin work, and it was reported he was spending time learning the ropes. In the meantime, SmackDown has struggled without any creative direction, and with the blue brand airing on Fox for megabucks, the WWE was no doubt facing increasing pressure to resolve its creative problems. But according to entertainment website The Wrap, Bruce Pritchard has replaced Eric Bischoff as executive director of Fox professional wrestling series Friday Night SmackDown, WWE said on Tuesday. Former WCW boss Bischoff has been let go from the company, a person with knowledge of his status told The Wrap. Bischoff served less than 4 months at the blue brand's top post. Pritchard will report directly to WWE Chairman and CEO Vince McMahon. As executive director of SmackDown, Pritchard will oversee the creative department of Friday Night SmackDown on Fox and ensure integration all across platforms and lines of business, in WWE's words. So what exactly happened? Why did Bischoff get fired? Well, like any wrestling news, lots of people are sharing their thoughts on things, including Brian Alvarez, who noted on the Wrestling Observer Live that I heard he just didn't know anybody. He didn't know any other talent. He didn't go out of his way to learn about anything. He would leave and nobody could get a hold of him. I heard zero good things about Eric Bischoff when he was doing whatever he was doing. I don't even know what he was doing. According to Ringside News, Bischoff didn't bother learning wrestlers' names, put minimal effort into his job, and left work early, which is frowned upon in WWE. Was Bischoff overwhelmed by his new role? Other issues have been mentioned, including the controversial ending to the Who Tried to Murder Roman Reigns storyline, which led to the reveal that Daniel Bryan's former henchman Rowan had orchestrated the attacks, but it's unknown how much, if any, input Bischoff contributed to SmackDown's creative direction, as he was always said to be learning the ropes. Perhaps the last straw for Eazy-E was Friday Night SmackDown's ratings drop for Week 2. It's been widely reported that the WWE billion-dollar bonanza deal with Fox requires that SmackDown meets a certain ratings threshold. Although Week 2's episode scored well in the all-important 18 to 49 demographic, the blue brand suffered a big drop from its debut episode, and Vince McMahon likely decided something had to be done. As we first observed when Paul Heyman and Eric Bischoff were hired, the WWE had just experienced a poor showing in its quarterly financial report, as well as continued ratings problems. At the time, we questioned how much the hiring was due to a desire to shake things up and how much was window dressing designed to assuage Wall Street. Although Paul Heyman's work has been noticeable on Raw, it's completely baffling why the WWE would hire Bischoff to run SmackDown's creative department when he actually informed the company he hadn't watched the product in years and that he needed time to familiarize himself with the product. The thought of Bischoff going to AEW may have played a role in the hire, but either way, it's the latest short-sighted quick fix by the WWE. However, Bischoff has taken his firing in good spirits, as he tweeted about his replacement Bruce Pritchard. Bruce is a great producer, good friend, and I'm certain he is going to thrive in his position. He's going to be working with a great team of the most dedicated and hard-working people I've ever had the pleasure of working with and getting to know. Next up, Seth Rollins has been pulled from the Crown Jewel match. Universal Champion Seth Rollins will be wrestling at the 31st October Crown Jewel Supercard in Saudi Arabia, but not in the match he was originally scheduled for. The Architect was initially slated to be part of Hulk Hogan's team, set to battle Ric Flair's team of 5, but in light of his new Falls Count Anywhere match against The Fiend, the WWE has taken him out of the match. If the heat in Saudi Arabia is anything like it was at Super Showdown, one match is more than enough for anyone. Next up, Raw's reeling ratings. So did the WWE's draft help things on Raw? Well, no, not really. PW Insider's Dave Shearer reported, the 14th October edition of Raw brought in 2.279 million overnight viewers, down from last week's 2.334 million overnight viewers. They were actually ahead of last week early on, but had a big drop in Hour 3. At that point, the Green Bay Packers were coming back on Monday Night Football, and it possibly cost WWE viewers. As you can see from the figures, there is a massive drop in Hour 3, substantially lower than the other 2 previous weeks. Now the good news is that fans were obviously interested in checking out the product, but the bad news is that nothing kept them around for hour 3, having a substantial drop from hour 2. With Raw having to rely on less star power than SmackDown, it may find itself struggling further in the ratings. Next up, Tyson Fury's big WWE paycheck. A boxing superstar Tyson Fury is making serious bank for his match against Braun Strowman at Crown Jewel, and just exactly how much may amaze fans, even those who know that Vince McMahon isn't afraid to throw piles of money at stars he feels will draw in the fans. Consider this report from the Daily Mail about Fury's payday. Tyson Fury's rematch of his epic World Heavyweight title draw with Deontay Wilder is in serious doubt as he banks $15 million. That's £11.9 million for his WWE debut this month, with the prospect of even more for a second wrestling extravaganza in the new year. Next up, this was the blockbuster move WWE were talking about? Now whether WWE is trying to atone for its short-sighted draft picks is a discussion for another day, but in order to get viewers in for WWE's new show WWE Backstage, they were announcing a blockbuster draft pick. On the show, Triple H announced that Raw had traded the team of Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross to SmackDown for future consideration in the form of draft picks. Yeah, that was it. As we noted in our analysis of Part 2 of the draft, SmackDown was sorely lacking in established female stars, so perhaps this could explain the addition of former Women's Champion Alexa Bliss and Cross plus. Nonetheless, sending them to SmackDown without a noticeable trade devalues Bliss and Cross, particularly since the WWE will likely forget the future consideration deal by the end of the week, let alone next year. Next up, the Hell in a Cell main event Meltdown continues. It looks like wrestling fans are still venting their disgust over the finish to Seth Rollins and The Fiend match at Hell in a Cell, with the Universal Champion Seth Rollins only fanning the flames over the match's fail-ridden finish by responding to fan criticism. When asked why the match ended in a disqualification finish, Rollins tweeted, "Correction, it ended in a ref stoppage. When a body isn't moving, the official has to make the right call." Seth's former Shield brother Roman Reigns understands the fans' frustrations, but had this to say to Forbes' Brian Mazik: "I think you should express your opinions, but it doesn't hurt anybody if you have a shred of respect. Have a little respect for the performers who are out there killing themselves for you. I didn't like the Hell in a Cell finish either, but I wasn't about to cuss some guys out who got hit in the head over and over. Bray Wyatt put his health on the line to entertain some fans to the best of his ability. I didn't like it, but I respect Bray's efforts and willingness to go out there and do what you have to do. So if you can, just show a little bit of respect." Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch also added her thoughts. "It's hard being a wrestling fan sometimes. We're all just going out there doing our best to entertain you guys. We care about you guys. We want you to enjoy yourself, and it hurts when you don't like it. We feel your pain. We're all in this together. I'll do all I can. Just tune into my Twitter. I'll be entertaining there." Do you agree with Roman Reigns, or do you think the wrestlers should receive criticism? Let us know in the comments down below. Next up, where are the Usos and Naomi? The Usos and Naomi have been gone from WWE television for some time, with rumours flying around that they were set to return in the near future. The Usos haven't been competing since Jimmy Uso's DUI arrest, fueling fans' curiosity. With all three superstars absent from the draft, there's even more speculation about where they might be and when they'll return to WWE programming. Dave Meltzer's comments suggest their hiatus may continue. While they were at a recent television taping backstage, there is right now no creative for them, nor return date, nor a decision regarding which brand they will be with. Because of that, they weren't involved in the draft. If it hasn't been decided yet, which brand should the Usos and Naomi end up on? And our last story today, Cornette goes off on AEW's owner. It may be time for a special social media news video series, judging from the number of social media stories we've been covering today. Recently, legendary wrestling manager Jim Cornette had this to say about AEW president Shad Khan, tweeting, "Billionaire Shad Khan donated $1 million to POTUS Pigface's inauguration in 2016 and supports his economic policies. Just wanted to know who they're dealing with. Hashtag the more you know." When a fan asked Jim Cornette why he was wasting his time talking politics, he responded, "People should be bringing politics into everything until Trump is in prison and the world is safe again." Do you agree with Jim Cornette's views? Actually no, don't let us know in the comments. Let's not introduce politics in there, let's just talk about wrestling. But there you have it guys, your latest wrestling news. Be sure to leave your comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.